Good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome back to Blu-Roy Movies. It's Sunday morning. You know the drill. That means only one thing. It's time for the weekly watches. And this week, we've got through 9 titles. Yep, 9. It's been a beautiful sunny week here in the UK. What have I done with the sunshine? Yeah, I've been sat inside watching films. Go figure. That's the way we roll on this channel. Right, I started off the week with Emily the Criminal, starring Aubrey Plaza. An actress I used to really like watching in Parks and Recreation, but I don't think I've seen her in much else, so I was really interested to see what she'd be like away from that programme. And yeah, this was a decent film, to be honest. It stars Aubrey. She's playing this woman who, in her earlier years, she's been in trouble with the police, drink driving and things like that, and it's rather held her back in life and career. Now she's got this criminal record and she needs to earn some money, so when she gets this telephone number given to her by a friend to ring this money for some easy money, she tries that and she gets embroiled in a world of credit card scams, which start off quite small scale, but then moves on to cars and things like that. And then she starts her own credit card operation. I quite enjoyed it. It started off better than it finished for me. When she was first getting into this credit card scams, it was quite interesting. And for me, it tailed off towards the second part of the film. But it was a decent watch. I got it off eBay for quite cheap, and yeah, it was well worth it. One I can see myself watching again in the future. Yeah, not bad at all, that one, Emily the Criminal. Next up was a film that the inimitable Sammy G sent me over to watch. He'd upgraded The Brood to the 4K and very kindly sent me the Blu-ray to peruse. And yes, thanks very much for that, Sam. Now, the film itself, we watched this Sunday evening and we'd been out at lunchtime and had some food, had a lovely pub roast dinner, and had a couple of glasses of IPA. And when I was watching it, I was in that state of contentment when you've got a nice full belly and you've had a glass of beer and you've been in good company and the world's right, Well, that's when I was watching this, and to be honest, in that state of contentment, I had some heavy eyelids and I struggled to keep up with this. Yeah, I found it very confusing. It was all about this woman who, under the influence of Oliver Reed, a psychiatrist, she had these little creatures after her, and they were killing everybody. They looked like little tiny Boris Johnsons. Yeah, it was very confusing, and I don't think I watched this at the right time. I think I should have been more alert when I watched it, because yeah, I'm not doing it justice. I'm not the biggest Cronenberg fan in the world. I do find him very hit and miss, and for me, as I say, I'm probably being unfair to it, is one of the misses. I prefer his more linear stuff, really. Acts of violence, and the other one with Viggo Mortensen, which I'm blanking on at the moment. Yeah, The Fly's all right, but I prefer the Vincent Price version, if I'm honest. Yeah, it was all right. Like I say, I'm not doing it justice. I probably need to watch it again. And I'd just like to say, yeah, once again, thanks for Sam for sending it over. And I'll probably do it more justice when I'm sort of more awake. Yeah, that's The Brood. Next up, I watched Behind Enemy Lines, and I have seen this before, but a long, long time ago. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. It's a good war action type film. Owen Wilson, a non-comedic role, and I thought he did all right. I thought, yeah, on the surface of it, you'd probably say a miscasting, but no, he was perfectly fine. Maybe because he was on the run a lot and not a huge amount of dialogue, so it didn't really matter that it was a non-comedic role, I suppose. And the late great Gene Hackman, it's is about Owen Wilson's character. He's a US Navy pilot, and they're doing recce's in Bosnia towards the end of the Bosnian conflict when they're thinking of pulling out the Americans. And they see something suspicious and fly off their official route where they should be to investigate, and they end up getting shot down. His pilot is killed, and then it's a case of Owen Wilson trying to evade capture by the Bosnians and getting back to American lines. And Gene Hackman's the general who's organising the mission to try and get him back. Yeah, great film. I really enjoyed it. Good action, as I say. The scene where the airplane gets shot down initially, I thought it was superb. I thought, yeah, brilliant scene. That was really edge of the seat stuff as they're trying to avoid these the Stinger missiles, Scud missiles. I'm not really up on my missiles, so Sidewinders. If you have any idea, let me know. Yeah, great. And then the cat and mouse with the Bosnians trying to catch them, and this one tracker guy who was quite a horrible character, quite an evil character. Yeah, good stuff. Behind Enemy Lines. If like me, you haven't seen it in a while, give it a watch because yeah, holds up. Good stuff. Next up, Independence Day. I was just in the mood for a familiar film. You know, you have that times you just want something you don't have to concentrate too hard on, that you've seen time and time before, that you enjoy. And Independence Day from Roland Emmerich was just fitting that bill for me. Oh, what a great film this is. I love it. It's my first viewing in 4K, and it's a pretty decent transfer, actually. As a star-studded cast, Will Smith's great in this. For me, my favourite Will Smith role. It's big, it's bombastic, it doesn't take itself seriously. It absolutely doesn't make a lick of sense when you look at the big picture. It just it just makes me laugh that it's just lucky that the aliens hardware was compatible with Windows 95 and they could send in that virus to wipe them all out. Yeah, star-studded cast. Jeff Goldblum in this as well, and his dad, which I can't remember his name. They could be father and son in real life. I thought they were that compatible, the two of them together. Yeah, you've all seen it before. Well worth an upgrade to 4K in my opinion. Independence Day, brilliant stuff. And I don't mind the sequel. I know it gets quite widely lambasted, but I kind of quite like it. Next up was a first time watch. Never seen this before in my life. John Carpenter, They Live, and I'm hit and miss with Carpenter, but I tell you what, I think this might be my favourite now. This was brilliant and so clever, and I didn't realise how poignant it was, not just then, but probably even more so now. And I found it a look at the state of modern society, how we're told to toe the line and do as you're told and believe everything you read and obey the big boy. Watch what you're supposed to watch, buy what you're supposed to do. And the thought of when you put the sunglasses on, open your eyes, look for yourself. There's more going on in this world. Don't take everything at surface level, which, really interested me. And I really enjoyed about that. Rowdy Roddy Piper, I don't think I've seen him in a film before and don't even know if he's been in any other films. Yeah, he was really good in this. And the action set pieces, really good as well. The ending was fantastic, I thought. Yeah, great film. Like I say, I think now my favourite Carpenter, and I can't believe it's taken me all these years to get to it. People say about the fight scene that it drags on and on and on, and it did. I think I timed it because I knew. I think Stuart was telling me about it, how long this fist fight goes on, and it was 6 minutes, which I didn't mind actually. It's because I knew about it. It was quite amusing me. Maybe if I was unaware of it and I'd got it like that, I'd be like, what the hell? But because I knew it was coming up, yeah, I found it quite funny. Yeah, They Live, John Carpenter. This now, maybe The Fog, then Halloween. Me top three Carpenters. Let me know down below your top three JCs, and don't say Jesus Christ. Right. Next up, I watched Arbitrage, starring Richard Gere, Susan Sarandon, Tim Roth, Britt Marling. And any idea what arbitrage means? No, me either. So after I watched the film, I googled it, and this is the definition. Right, hold on to your hats. The simultaneous buying and selling of securities, currency, or commodities in different markets or in derivative forms in order to take advantage of differing prices for the same asset. Yeah. So if I'd have read that before I watched the film, I don't think there's a cat in hell's chance I'd have watched it, because that just makes it sound so dull. And dull it wasn't. This is about Gere's character, who's a horrible, slimy character, which I think they're Gere's best characters. On the surface, he's got the perfect life. He's head of this multi-billionaire company. He's got the beautiful wife, Susan Sarandon. Great kids that are now in his company, and he's training them to take over the reins from when he retires. But under the surface, is not everything is right with him. He's cooking the books. He's moving money about illegally in the company to try and pull off this 400 million merger that he needs, else he's financially ruined. And also he's got a mistress on the go. Now, whilst he's out driving the mistress's car with the mistress in it one evening, his eyes go really heavy and he gets tired and he crashes the car, killing the mistress. And he realises that if he gets embroiled in this car crash case, his reputation is going to be ruined. His takeover is going to be destroyed. He's going to be financially destroyed. So he covers up the car crash to make it look that she was driving and he wasn't there. And yeah, it's really intriguing then, because you've got Tim Roth, who's brilliant as well at this, playing the detective, trying to uncover what happened in it. And it's pretty obvious that to Roth that Gere was involved, but it's just trying to prove it. Yeah, really great stuff. And no, I'm not going to tell you. I was going to sort of like spoil the end, and like, no, I'm not going to, because it is worth a watch. It's a cheap Blu-ray to pick up. Yeah, I'd advise anybody to give it a watch, because yeah, I found it thoroughly enjoyable. That's Arbitrage, which with the fantastic Richard Gere. Next up, and this one wasn't so fantastic. Cutthroat Island, directed by, I think it's Rennie Harlin. Yeah, directed by Rennie Harlin, who's, I wouldn't say is like miss for me, probably mostly misses. Maybe the exception of Die Hard 2. But nah, he's not for me, Rennie Harlin. And this one fitted similarly into that bracket. It's probably one of the biggest bombs in Hollywood history, and I can certainly see why. While it was set in some beautiful locations, there was a lot of explosions and quite a bit of action, but in between that, it was very dull, as Gina Davis and Matthew Modine on this pirate ship battling her wicked uncle to get to this cutthroat island to uncover a big golden treasure. And yeah, I just found it very dull. I thought Davis and Modine had seriously no chemistry whatsoever, whether they spent all the budget and more on the filming locations and the explosions and the other crap. Maybe that didn't leave enough budget for some bigger stars that could have maybe lifted this little bit. I think of Matthew Modine. I remember him as Private Joker in Full Metal Jacket, and he was a hell of a lot better than this. He was just wooden as hell. Like, I think when Gina Davis was smooching with him, she got splinters off him. That's how bad he was. Yeah, Cutthroat Island, not one I'll be returning to pretty soon, but I'll keep it in the collection. Maybe give it another go in a few years to come. You never know. Cutthroat Island. Next up, Breakdown. Breakdown. What a film this is. I'd seen it years ago on DVD and recently bought the 4K to upgrade. So I knew it wasn't going to be long before I stuck this in a player. And yeah, what a decision that was. Because this is awesome. Kurt Russell and Catherine Quinlan. They played this couple. They're driving across America, and while Russell's driving along, he gets into a vehicular. He gets into a bit of a car crash with Lemmy from Motorhead. It's not him really, but it reminded me of him. And slightly after that, the car breaks down. A trucker stops to help them and offers to take Catherine Quinlan into the next town, into the next diner, so she can phone for help while Kurt Russell stays with the car. When Kurt Russell, he gets the car going himself because he noticed something's been unplugged by it in suspicious circumstances, and he gets to the diner and his wife's missing and nowhere to be found. And it's then a case of Russell trying to find his wife who has been kidnapped. And yeah, great, tense, on the edge of your seat stuff. Just a brilliant film that I don't think enough people talk about. And great finale at the end where everything's sorted out. Yeah, really, really good stuff. If you haven't watched that, give it a watch. Brilliant action road trip type stuff. Yeah, wonderful film. And I've finished off the week with a first time watch from my Vintage Classics collection, School for Scoundrels. Ian Carmichael, Terry Thomas. Terry Thomas is brilliant in this. He's played this roguish, caddish type of characters. I think rakes they called them back in the day. Jeanette Scott, who she was a lady from one of my favourite places, Morecambe, and the brilliant Alistair Sim, who is fantastic in everything, and this is no exception. This is about Ian Carmichael's character. He's a lovable kind of idiot type guy who nice guys don't win, and he follows that pattern in his career. People don't take him seriously. The ladies really overlook him for other guys. He starts seeing Jeanette Scott's character, but then, like I say, the rakish Terry Thomas moves in on the scene, and he's had enough of it. So he enrolls in this special school, which Alistair Sim is the headmaster of, and it's a school to make you, if you want, more savvy in life, in your love life, in your career, with your finances, and it teaches you just how to get one step up in life. If you're not one step up, you're one step down, as they say in the film. And it follows that, and then when he finishes from the school, he puts everything he's learned into action with trying to woo this lady back from Terry Thomas. And yeah, just a great fun time. You know what you're getting with these old British comedies, and this is no exception. And this is one of the better ones, and I can't believe it's taken me all these years to watch it. Yeah, because it was really, really good. If, like me, you're collecting the Vintage Classic collection and you haven't got that one in the collection, get it in, because it's a wonderful feel-good film that'll have you smiling and chuckling all the way through. That's School for Scoundrels. Yep, so that's it. Everything this week. 9 titles done and dusted. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know any thoughts down below. As well, I love all your comments. Makes my day getting great comments from you guys and the wonderful feedback. Give me a like if you've liked what I've done here today. Maybe think about subscribing if you want to hear more of this twaddle. And I'll catch you guys later. Ta-ra.